As gently and as lightly as I can, I tipped her through the beautiful spring-like forest. Before we went on this trip, my mum and dad would be horrible to me, so that's why I ran away from them, and now I feel free and content together. Before very long, I hear a sweet, similarly lovely voice that I could listen to for hours upon end. Without hesitation, I saunter through the woods, hoping to find the people who are singing immaculately. Just as I appear at a sky blue rock pool, something out of the movies, where the trees make a canopy over the glorious sky, I notice beautiful creatures in the sky, blue water, blue water, creatures that I'd only seen in fairy tales or stories. I pinched my arm, contrary to rubbing my eyes, but no, it was not a dream. Confidently, I glanced over the cliff just to take a peek to see a whole party of mermaids. Strangely enough, one invites me down. Oh, I do just want to jump into the marvellous water, I sighed. We'll do it then, Emelina said with a huge smile on her face. That's it, I'm going for it, I think to myself. I put on my bikini and I go in and I count to my head. As I jump off the grassy cliff into the water, I feel a sudden spark of lightning as my body touch my body, but only for a millisecond. After that, everything goes back to normal, except I'm in the water and I'm a mermaid. Wildly, despite being excited, I asked myself, how could this have happened? Was it the spark of energy? Was it the magical water? Or was it even the forest itself? I am clueless at this point in time. Anyway, for the time being, I enjoy myself at this pleasure time. Furthermore, it's once in a lifetime experience. A little while later, it was closing time for the rock pool, sadly. Suddenly I got out. As soon as I stood out the bottle green lily pad, I felt my body getting lighter and lighter and lighter. A couple of seconds later, Emelina shouted, "Whoa, Bronny, you're flying high!" Loudly I hear something flutter behind me. Drifting to the ground, I scream with shock. I have wings! They're pink, purpley, and best of all, sparkly. If I went back home now, my mum would kill me. I just love it here. The adventures me and Emelina could have together. The climate, the water, and especially scent, moreover the view. After a while, I made my mind up. No one really liked me back home. Otherwise, people here took you as who you are. I decided to stay once and for all. We all lived happily ever after.
A forest sky with the most beautiful colours working together in perfect harmony. It was as if the swaying sound of the Crispell Lake swished and swayed to the sound of the bird song. Eventually, I stood up so as to explore this marvellous atmosphere that I was so lucky to come across. I danced, skipped and hopped without a care in the world, singing and whistling, my head in the clouds, nothing could bother me. Crash! Boom! Unluckily, I fell flat on my face and rolled straight down a hill. "Are you okay?" called a voice of silk, falling on with a flutter of wings. Timidly, I sat up with an ache in my left shoulder and ripped in tears in my clothes. "Oh dear," cried a voice. I turned around. My eyes met a creature so magnificent no one would believe me. A fairy, wings so angelic in detail, the dress so beautiful in stitches. I was ecstatic. She told me to stand up. She said I took quite a tumble. Silently, she guided her wand across, up and down, and with a flash of light I was healed. I felt as to thank her for her good doing, so just as I left, she told me to never ever go into the dark side of the forest, as there is a being who would trick, lure, or even kill to get what she wanted. A trembling cry called for help, moaning and whining. Stupidly, I follow, only to know what I've gotten into. I found a fairy draped over a tree branch, aching and crying. Despite what the good fairy told me, I crossed the border to help her, even though I thought I was doing good. A great evil was luring closer and closer. Bravely, I took this fairy off the branch and healed her as best as I could. Eagerly, I placed my bandages back into my bag, then, having after turned around, the fairy looked at me, dead in the eye, laughing and cackling. Her fair skin turned stone grey, Her long blonde hair turned black and ratty. Lastly, her blue eyes turned fiery red. The witch-like being began to tie achingly forceful ropes from my head to my toes, cackling devilishly. Flashbacks and visions rushed through my head, only of old storybooks I read. Suddenly, I remember this character who could be burned with water. Swiftly, I grabbed my water bottle and squirted out what was left, and I'm melting! After cutting myself free, a new rush of confidence trickled down my back. I could do anything. This changed my life forever.
Came. Our ancestors have poured their hearts and souls into this land. The soft, gentle breeze made small ripples within the pool, reflecting a figure that had a somewhat resemblance to a star, as these words were spoken. It almost seemed like a feeling of doubt lingered in the air, sending chills up the cat's spines. Well, we have to do something. If we don't, our people shall grow old and lazy, and our clan shall perish under the pressure, one distinctively murmured, her pale amber eyes showing deep pity and concern. Send out the patrols, calmly train the kittens, visit the grand oak tree and ask for guidance. Another, dark brown tabby, spoke. Our kittens shall not be trained. They're too young. A sharp, piercing glance came from another. I shall make sure the wolves don't lay a single paw on our precious territory. A deep, yet relaxing voice hissed. This clan meeting shall end now. We all know what to do. Do we all know what to do? The dark brown cat spoke. Agreed, and understood Natasha. The other cats purred. Natasha always had an open mind towards others' complaints, and that's why her ancestors chose her as leader. She'd stick up for what's right, and always had a positive attitude. Nobody argued with her, but sadly, that was about to all change. You sure this is where to go? A tiny kitten purred, staring up at his mother. You'll see, Tom. The white small creature glanced up once again. Promise? He'd kneel. Surprise, she'd murmur. Mm-hmm. She'd stalk a large creature, bigger than anything Tom had ever laid his eyes upon. See that? That's a wolf. Wolves are our enemies. They always harass us and kill us. The mother signaled for her son to stay back. Thus he did. Tom, keep watching. She tensioned her muscles, taking a few steps back before leaping forward, landing on top of the wolf, hissing and spitting. Tom looked away, and before he knew it, a small whimper was cried out. Suddenly, a few growls were heard, both cats' growls and wolf's growls. Gently, Tom began sneaking back to camp. Natasha, it's my mum, he'd cry out. What? Before she could finish, Tom's mother burst into the camp with an ambulance. Chloe, what have you done? Natasha cried out, slowly signaling for the other cats to surrender. You killed the wolves' leaders and took their amulet? She dug her claws into the dirt, slowly beginning to sense wolves. Everyone, abandon camp. This is not a drill. Natasha turned around, beginning to pick up Tom. She'd signal for everyone to follow. Once the camp was empty, things would only get worse from then onwards. Time took its toll. The wolves eventually arrived, although they found no signs of life. The soft, sweet scent of cats teased the wolves. One of them murmured, "We'll find them." The others nodded in agreement. Move out. We'll be keeping this territory. Chloe slowly called out to them. She dangled the amulet in front of them. Now, I want to make a deal, she purred, sending chills up the wolves' spines. What kind of deal? One hesitated to murmur. Well, an evil grin appeared across Chloe's face. As she began to explain. Come on, Natasha stopped when she realized nobody else was certain or sure if they could trust her anymore. The wolves are on our trail. We have to move faster. She felt lightheaded. What if we couldn't outrun them? If Chloe isn't here, then why are they chasing us, Mum? A kitten questioned their mother. I don't know, Kate, the larger one replied, picking up her kitten by the scruff. Out of nowhere, Chloe burst out of the bushes screeching, "Natasha, come back to the camp. I chased off the wolves." Sadly, nobody knew the truth of this. "Come on, everyone, let's head back." Chloe, lead the way, Natasha beamed, as she began to head back, the others nearby. When they made it back, the wolves were still there, clear as day. Everybody felt uneasy knowing this, and slowly went into attack mode. It took long, and only a few were injured. Chloe screeched, "Wolves, retreat!" All of the wolves, and Chloe, began to leave. Everybody seemed to calm down. Natasha had a grin upon her face. "It has been questioned. The forest never just came," one spoke, his voice calm and relaxed. "It all started from a single seed, a tree seed to be exact," Natasha continued. The sky was a light blue colour. The clouds looked soft and fluffy. "Tom, do you accept to join the Royal Cat's Army?" Natasha purred to a now grown-up Tom. "I do." He'd be bursting with excitement. Nobody was distressed or sad again. The end.